Hello, my name is Kaze and welcome to another episode of Kaze Labs. This one is a little bit different and you'll see why in just a second. After I published my most recent video about the Prophet 2000 diagnostic disc, I got a lot of inquiries asking how do you convert a floppy disk into a file that can fit on a thumb drive and then you can kind of use with a Gotek floppy disk emulator. If you've seen the Prophet 2000 video, then you know all the trials and tribulations that I went through to get these guys converted into this. And ultimately, I couldn't have done it without the help of this guy named Nick Dynice. Nick runs a recording studio. They do like mastering, mixing, tape transfers in Long Beach, California. The name of his studio is Deep Signal Studios. And Nick also has like an amazing vintage synth collection. I'm just so jealous of all the synths that he has. Really, really incredible. At any rate, I asked if Nick could make a short tutorial video where he goes step by step and explains exactly what he did to convert a floppy disk into a thumb drive compatible, Gotek compatible file format. So if you are one of those guys that has a lot of these guys laying around from, like some sample collection. Maybe you have like an Ensoniq Mirage or an Akai S900 or like an Emax or a Prophet 2000 or Korg DSS1. Anyway, if you have like some of those old sample collections on a bunch of floppies floating around and you've been wanting to convert them to a format that you can use with your Gotek drive, then this video is for you. At any rate, I'll let Nick explain the process and then I'll catch you at the end of the video.
If you have a Windows XP era machine with an internal floppy drive, you can read and in some cases write to floppy disks for samplers from the 80s and 90s like the Prophet 2000. You've used this software to image floppies for Emax, DPX1, ASR10, MPC60, Mirage, and maybe another 2 or 3 I'm forgetting. So first I'll show you how to get to the software. So if you do a search for HXC software, you'll get to the HXC site. Click on the first link and then scroll down to the section labeled software. And it's this first link, HXC floppy emulator software. Now this is going to download the 32-bit, 64-bit Windows and Mac versions of the software. Most likely the 32-bit because that's what's going to work with most Windows XP systems. Now you're going to need to download this on a modern computer. Windows XP browsers are not going to be able to connect to the modern internet. So then you'll need to either connect your Windows XP machine to a network drive and download it from there or copy it from a USB flash drive. So once you have that software on your XP machine and open it, it's going to look like this. So the first thing we're going to want to do is click floppy disk dump. And this window is going to come up. And by default, it's going to look for a double-sided disc that's 80 tracks. Once you start reading it, you might realize it's single-sided or fewer than 80 tracks, at which point you should start over. Change those settings and start over. Once we got this window open, we can hit read disk. Now it's going to take a while. So this top section represents one side and this bottom section represents the other side. Once it starts reading, it's going to fill in with green up here. Now the disk I'm reading right now is double-sided. It's a DPX1 disk. From what I understand, the Prophet 2000 may be single-sided. Okay, now that it says done, we can save. We hit export. Now the default is HFE. Now, obviously the HXC will be able to read these, but also any Gotek with flash floppy. The other format you might want to use is IMG in the case of wanting to write data back to disk using either OmniFlop or what we're going to do is use Klaus's Prophet 2000 tool. You'll want to save it as a IMG. So let's name our disk. It's saved as an IMG. And now we'll do one more as an HFE. And now you get those files to your flash-based floppy emulator like HXC or Gotek with flash floppy firmware. You will be able to load those just like a floppy disk. Now we're going to go over writing to a disk. In this case, formatting and then writing the Prophet 2000 diagnostic image. So to get to the command line, you either have the command prompt here, or you can go to run, type CMD, and you'll get a new command line window. You're going to want to get a hold of Klaus's image that was converted from a HFE to an IMG. And this is in the Facebook Prophet 2000 group that Klaus posted on June 5th. And in the comments here, he's also posted on this comment he posted on June 9th. So this first command will format the disk, and the second command will write the diagnostic IMG file to the disk. You'll also want to get a hold of Klaus's tool P2000 floppy. So that link will take you here, and then just click this top link. It will download just the P2000 floppy IO. And again, you get it to your XP machine, most likely through a USB drive. Once it's unzipped, it will contain these three files and also this P2000 floppy IO file. So I've taken that out of that directory and put it in the same directory as our image file, so it's going to make things a little bit easier. So the files are located in My Documents, Prophet 2000. So we'll type cd My Documents. Now we're in there. And then we can cd again, Prophet 2000. And now it's showing us that we are in the Prophet 2000 folder. So remember that command that I pointed out in Klaus's comment? It was 2 lines. The first line is to format the disk, and the second line is to write the diagnostic image to the disk. So I've copied that to a text file and then got it to my XP machine so I can copy and paste it into the command prompt. So first we'll format the disk. So we'll copy that line, paste it in, hit enter. Now it's going to go through and format the disk. Okay, now that it's formatted, we will write the disk image. And now it's completed. Now it only wrote it to one side of the disk because this program is very small, say smaller than a sample disk. So now that we've written the diagnostic disk, it would be interesting to read it once again. Now we know it's single-sided and it's only 20 tracks. So we'll see what that looks like. And now it's done. So now you should be able to take this disk and load it into a Prophet 2000, one that still has the floppy drive, to do the diagnostics. Otherwise, if you have a Gotek, just download the HFE file that I was able to image that Kays brought over to me and that we're giving to the community. And thank you, Kays, for helping out the Prophet 2000 community with this diagnostic disc to help extend the life of Prophet 2000s and help technicians troubleshoot these samplers.
Thank you, Nick. That was amazing. Thank you so much for making the tutorial video for us. Once again, you can find Nick at Deep Signal Studios. His studio does tape conversions and MIDI file conversions and masterings and mixing and all sorts of other stuff. And as I said, he's got an incredible collection of vintage synths. Now you know everything there is to know to convert your floppy disk collections into a Gotek compatible format. And I will see you on the next Kays Labs video. Thank you for watching.